wait a second. I mean, it's okay. Don't get
12
nervous.
waiting. Let's go.
Don't get nervous.
I'm not nervous. I am.
I'm telling myself, where is my Farrago? I got to get the fucking music.
I don't know.
Holy shit.
Where is my mind?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here we go.
I believe we are rolling with
I believe
the
in the
homies
dream.
now.
The dream is
We're
real.
rolling. It is. It's happening. It's being realized. We're self-actualizing. We're manifesting greatness. And there we are. Hey, it is Thursday, April the 17th, 2025, and it is the Tara Show. Yours truly, Tara Dublin, and my nearly exactly same other half on the other side of the country, Tara Devlin. How's it going?
It's going all right, one day at a time. Yeah. And no,
Sure.
I mean, for me personally, I have, but otherwise I have a knot in my stomach about the fascism that's here.
Yes.
Faster than we could have, even, like, nobody's ever seen, like the con man says.
They come up to me with tears in their eyes saying, ma'am, how can we thank you for standing up? Oh, wait, no, they don't do that.
With tears in their eyes. That's great.
Tears in their eyes. Sir. So where we want to begin is in the middle of all of this horrendous fuckery against, I'm not supposed to swear in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's okay. I already did it.
Issues surrounding the disappearing of Kilmer, Abrego, Garcia from the streets of Maryland. The man was apparently just existing while not white.
Yeah,
and
that's it.
Is not a criminal. Did not commit a crime. Was mistakenly deported to this horrific hellscape of a prison in El Salvador, which the MAGA Republicans are now using as a backdrop for photos to please dear leader.
Disgusting.
We saw Kristi Noem already do that. She wore her $60,000 Rolex and stood in front of a bunch of criminals or people who were incarcerated. We don't really know who they were or what they did, but I do know that along with buying herself Alina Habba's Ivanka face, she bought herself several new cup sizes and a shirt that was one size too small. Anyway,
and somebody else's husband, while you know,
right.
Corey Lewandowski.
Anyway, boobs McMaga went down there.
Oh wait, wrong video. That's another one of her cosplay.
There she's covering her shit up. I'm talking about the one where she's wearing like this super tight white long.
But do you see how she's
that one?
Yeah, she's pointing the gun at someone's head. I mean, I was in the military. This is something you do not do. You point your weapon to the ground, and
this is why anyone who handles a weapon needs to be trained as though they were, I don't know, driving a car.
I would be. I mean, you know how much they would smoke your ass if you did that and you were in the military? I don't know why. And who are these guys who are enabling this, standing by her, like, exactly.
It's all look, because he has big arm muscles. That must mean he's brave. No, I'm not going down that road.
And this is the one.
Okay,
this is the one.
Okay, boobs, McMaga. When you see
gross,
ladies. First of all, every department store has a lingerie department, and within that lingerie department are women with measuring tapes, and they can properly fit you for a foundation
That's so
garment.
True. They can.
To properly support whatever it is you have going on. I highly recommend Nordstrom. They take excellent care of you there. If you're going to increase your chesticle size, which is a completely valid choice if you care to do so, get one that fits you properly afterwards. This is not it. If you're seeing that pull across the
that's right.
The chesticle, the shelf. The shelf of breastage now, whatever you want to call it. If you're seeing those lines pulling across, it means your shirt is the wrong size. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm sure it's a purposeful choice to please.
Of course it is.
Yeah, the maggots.
She is there to turn on the spank bankers in their mom's basement, and that's what she's there for. That's what she's there for. And so I created a word for what she's doing and for what the latest one did, and that's a photo opportunist. Because she's not there to help anybody.
No.
She's not here, right? She's just there to show off for Daddy Trump. That's what she's there for. She's there to curry favor.
They're so disgusting. This is I mean, when all this is said and done, this is what I keep thinking. There has to be an atonement for all of these crimes against humanity. We can't just put them down the memory hole, right? I mean, it reminds me, when I saw her do that, it reminds me of Himmler touring the concentration camps. It's the same thing.
Exactly.
So
it is the same thing. And we're going to see more of this sort of performative nonsense, red meat tossing to the masses, because they need to stay angry about this so they won't be angry about the things that are actually hurting them personally.
Right, that they should be angry about.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? So, they love a scapegoat. If they can have a brown scapegoat, awesome. If they can have a brown woman scapegoat, even better. So, of course, now they're going to go after Letitia James again because she's going to investigate the insider trading thing, right? Because it was committed in New York. So if you commit insider trading in New York, guess who's going to investigate you?
Yes.
Tish James, and I love her. And do not come for Tish James. Just don't.
Well, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. It's
man, the false equivalent. Like yesterday. You find I love Tish James, and I was fortunate enough to have a brief encounter with her at the Democratic National event in August. Yeah. So on the Wednesday, on the penultimate night of the DNC, I got a pass on the floor, which is just like,
oh wow.
Yes,
amazing.
It was just the most incredible night. I got on CNN a bunch of times, which was super fun. I was right next to Brooklyn Dad, so we got on TV a bunch, which was great. And I met that's the night that I met everybody. I met so many people.
Oh, cool.
And so, and MSNBC had their studio on the floor, and Joyanne Reed was interviewing Senator Elizabeth Warren and had Letitia James on deck. And I'm like, I'm not missing this opportunity.
Yeah.
So there's actually a moment where you could have seen me walking past the camera on MSNBC Live. And then I went over to Tish James, and you can check my Twitter because it's there. But I said to her, I introduced myself quickly, and I said, you're just my idol. And she gave me one of those come on now looks. And I was like, Trump blocked me on Twitter in August of 2015, and I love watching you go after him. Thank you so much. And then she gave me you're a real one look, and I got a fist bump.
That's awesome.
Oh man. My God. Yeah, like all of I could tell 1,000 stories just about the DNC. But anyway, circling back to what we were talking about, and after I tell this little bit of business, I want you to take some space and tell everybody about what you wrote for the Political Voices Substack regarding
it relates.
The Trump Gestapo. The Trump Gestapo. I like calling them that. We have the Gestapo. The Trump Gestapo is essentially what we're witnessing. That's what ICE is.
Yeah.
Right. And so, but there was another. So first of all, thank you. Shout out. Holla to Senator Chris Van Hollen, who flew down yesterday and tried to visit with Kilmer, but was denied access to the prison while Kristi Noem got to go inside, and other Republicans have gotten
that says it all, right?
And so one of the things that we have found out amongst all of this other shit is that one of the reasons Caroline is saying that Kilmer's never being returned back is that the Trump administration is paying the El Salvadorian government to keep him there.
Yes.
And that's a fact that should be blown up tremendously, because that's our taxpayer dollars keeping an American citizen wrongfully imprisoned. Right. Like, where is the International Criminal Court on this? And so thank you to Chris Van Hollen, who tried to get down there and do the right thing, because that's what Democrats do. At the same time, freshman Representative Riley Moore, that is Riley, Riley Moore, 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 of West Virginia,
of course,
went down there as well and staged his own photo opportunity with the tooth. There he is. With what is that jacket?
What a pasty-faced asshole,
Look at him.
How old is he?
First of all, did he borrow his much taller older brother's jacket?
Yeah. Thumbs up. Thumbs up if you're a Nazi. These people, they're so tough, right? So tough.
That is disgusting, right? That is disgusting. In and of itself, he is not there to help anyone.
Wow. It is. No, I'm like, I can't even. I want to puke, really.
I know, right? It's disgusting. Okay, and so like I said to you right before we went on the air, this is taking This is straight from the Marjorie Taylor Greene Lauren Boebert playbook, which is I am announcing my presence in Congress by doing something really terrible.
Yeah, by being a repugnant ghoul who is a coward too. These people, I mean, give them give behavior. Yeah, exactly. This is against all, not just decency. I mean, this is. Isn't it? I don't know. If it's against the, well, they're not in. If this is a military operation, it should be covered under the Geneva Conventions, and if that's what they're saying, and you're not supposed to, it's against the Geneva Conventions to use prisoners for propaganda purposes. So,
well, I mean, and look at that right there. So, yeah, I mean, accountability would be great, and what this also plays into is how far we have fallen as a nation in just the last decade. And, you can go deeper and talk about the history of the Republican Party and how terrible that they are to all people and whatever else. Hey, you disappeared.
Hey, what happened?
I don't know. You disappeared. I just
disappeared. We all disappeared.
Oh,
what is happening?
Are we still on? Are we still going?
We're still going, but I'm getting a message that
our pictures got lost. Oh shit! Do we have to reboot?
What the fuck is going on here?
Oh man, you guys! I have shit to show you. I have stuff to tell you. Right now, we're stuck with an image of Riley Moore with the thumbs up.
No, but they can still hear us. Yeah, they can still hear. I don't know what's going on with the camera.
Hey Jim, what's going on? What can you
No,
guys
he's
hear
okay. He
right
can't.
now?
They can hear us.
Okay, so they can hear. But should I keep talking while this is happening?
Yeah, just keep talking.
Or do you need to reboot? Do you need to reboot your computer?
No. I mean, I rebooted before we started, so let me see.
And they can hear us. Okay, everybody can heir us. Try to futz with the camera.
We're back. We're back. It's just I'm getting a message from YouTube. This happens a lot on my own show too.
Okay, we're back.
Sometimes it says that it's not receiving enough, whatever the fuck. But now I'm getting a green light that says everything is good. So whatever.
Hey, thanks for hanging tough.
Thank you. Yeah,
hanging tough. Like I started setting up something really great, and I was like,
I know. I'm sorry. It really just throws you off the track there. So, but go ahead. That's technology. This is live TV, right?
Awesome. We got to roll with it. We got to roll with it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So as we were saying, this behavior is just indicative of it's like who can impress top bully, dear leader, Donald Trump, the ultimate bully. Who can impress him the most and the fastest by acting just like him? Right. Mm-hmm. So there's Riley. There's Riley standing out front of this place wearing a jacket that doesn't fit him because Donald Trump's clothes don't fit him, with double thumbs up like Donald Trump poses with the thumbs up, and it's basically like saying, "Here I am, Daddy, love me. I'm just as bad as you." And so it's disgusting what they are doing to the detriment of they're hurting a family. They're hurting an American family. They're hurting a wife. They're hurting a man. That he is not a criminal. We have gone over this. They cannot find it. Pam Blondie said they cannot find any evidence of any crimes committed, but he's not coming back to America. But they can't provide us a reason why.
I mean, it's so disgusting. The other thing it is a
basic human rights violation.
Because
is what it is.
But they're enjoying it. They are reveling it in being, and harming people. It's because they're powerless too. That's the other thing. It's a powerless, vulnerable, politically unconnected family. So that's
right. And the choice is make it look like you are fine with what dear leader is doing, or suffer the consequences.
Yes.
Right. So they, even if maybe behind closed doors, are like Lisa Murkowski. There's a video of her circulating. She's afraid. She's scared. She's scared.
I know. I saw that. Yeah.
So if you're scared about something, the remedy is removing the thing you're scared of. Don't
stick together. Stick together.
You're a senator. Fucking impeach him if you're scared of him, and take all of the other ones down with him.
Yes.
You know what they're doing. So
amen, sister. Amen.
Thank you. And so anybody who knows me from either watching this show or watching Hal's show or reading my Substack or checking out wherever I express my opinions, I'm not going to sit here and just let this happen. Now, fortunately, it happens to be my job, as it is yours, to present the facts of what occurs in the news. That's our job. Now, I would like to predicate this by saying I am not a journalist, in that I don't have a degree in journalism. I'm not an investigative reporter. I don't have a beat. I don't break stories. That's not who I am. I'm a person who reacts to what I'm living through and have gained a following of some size doing so. And grateful for it. Grateful for the platform. Grateful for the trust in the people who watch and listen and read, because that's incredibly important to me, because you know, and I say it over and over again, the truth is what matters to me more than anything.
Yes.
Truth, 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 truth. And so I have made enemies on the other side because they hate the truth as much as they hate America.
It has
They
a
hate the
liberal
truth
bias, really. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And they would like to portray me
too
as I'm fake news, I'm unhinged, I'm a Karen.
Yeah,
like,
that's it. You're unhinged.
Right?
But if it's fake
Right,
news,
unhinged.
where's it fake? Give us, where is it? That's why I always say, if I'm
Exactly.
wrong,
Now-
I'll correct it. But go ahead, yeah.
Right. And over these years,
That's my
I have
cat
accumulated-
sneezing. I don't know if you can hear him.
God bless you. Sei gesund.
He's having a sneezing fit. Sorry.
Over this time where it has been my job to write about politics, I have reached out to congressional Republicans to ask questions, for that is how you get information. The only way you can learn things is by asking questions, as we all found out from Sesame Street. But then again, if they cut public funding, then anyway,
God, I know.
not go down that one. But anyway, the point being, they don't like the truth, and they will do everything they can to make sure that it doesn't get out there. And they don't like your question, so they're going to move the goalpost, and they're going to insult the messenger. And we've talked about that. And this is how I have gotten myself entangled with Nancy Mace's comms director and Matt Gaetz and his comms director at the time.
Him too? Holy shit.
Right. Oh, there's
You're
a whole
tangling
Matt
with
Gaetz
these
story.
people, man. This is
Dude,
great.
This is why we're going to have to eventually expand this show to 90 minutes because of the story. Maybe just like 20 minutes a day, I'll tell the story about who I got in trouble with on the
Yes,
Republican
you got to record it. You have to record it.
I have written and spoken about it. Yeah, I'll totally tell the Matt Gaetz story at some point. Okay. So, and Ted Cruz's staffers have come for me.
My.
And yeah, no, like it's
good.
just
That's
like,
good.
all because I tell the truth. How dare I? And it's my job. And so I first I called Riley Moore's office. And I will say, and again, from West Virginia, and I'm going to be careful about how I frame this because I don't want to insult anybody, because there are smart people who come from the South. And so we're West Virginia, but apparently the people who work for Riley Moore are not among those people. So I called and I will, I disappeared, and now it's me, and now it's
Don't
you.
worry, don't. I just keep going, kid. Just keep going.
Okay, cool. Keep it visually exciting. Anyway, I will say that the young gentleman who answered the phone for Representative Riley Moore was quite polite. And I posed the question of, why is he there staging a photo op instead of trying to free him because he's not a criminal, and all the reasons why. And he said, would you like to speak to somebody in our office about that? And I was like, boy, would I. And shockingly, the comms director was not available to speak to me. So I went ahead and I wrote an email, because they gave me the comms director's email, and his name is Walter Smolinski. I can't pronounce it.
Walter Smolowski.
It's SMOL, which is enough for me. Small. He's small, although he's giant, curly-haired, redheaded guy. On his Twitter account, he's one of those guys standing in a river holding a fish, like every guy on a dating app
boring.
that you quickly swipe left,
Just
swipe
run from that serial killer.
and small Walter has but 486 followers on Twitter now. I'm not here to follower shame, because I am hard cemented at 104,000 followers after Elon did all he could to suppress and throttle my account. I lost something like 15,000 followers. It's just insane. So, but I'm still there because I don't let Nazis run me out of anywhere. Point being, I said in my email that I had a noon deadline. We don't have a deadline when we write for the Political Voices Network. It gets an attention, though. If you say I have a deadline, I was like,
yes.
my deadline is noon. I didn't indicate whether I meant Pacific or Eastern, but it turns out that by the time I was finished writing it, it was noon Eastern. I was like, haven't heard from him. I pressed go for it. And then my work was done. And I do like to do that, by the way, because I am on the West Coast.
Right.
I try to get the Political Voices Substacks at least out by lunchish time, because that's heavy traffic time. People break and they scan, they check their emails and all of that. And I hope everybody who's watching is signed up for Political Voices Network Substack.
You better.
As well as our individual ones, because them's worth reading. So instead of replying directly to my email, which is what a professional adult person with a professional adult job in the government would do,
you would think,
Walter decided to troll me on Twitter.
Oh my God. Wow.
Now, of course, so I tweeted the article from the Political Voices Network Substack, and if you are not a paid subscriber, there is a point where you hit a paywall. So there's no way Walter read the article, because he can't, because there's no way he's going to pay for it. So, but he did, he responded to it calling me a hack and saying that I didn't wait for the deadline. And I was like,
what deadline?
I mean, I did. The deadline that I indicated in
that
the
you
email
made up?
That I made up. The arbitrary deadline of noon.
That you gave yourself.
Well, I made it up. I was like, well, I looked at what time it was. Because again, when you live on the West Coast and you own cats, you are woken up hella early. And I can get so much. I can get so much shit done by the time it's lunchtime on the East Coast. It's just the way things work. And
very true.
So I started writing it around 8 a.m. my time, and I was done just before 9 o'clock my time, which is noon. And I was like, okay, well, no one has gotten back to me. That's my deadline. I have decided, because I have other stuff I want to do. That's why it's my deadline. Bye. And it was published right at that deadline time.
So he did not. Where is this tweet? I'm trying to find it so I can show people.
So go to my. If you just go to my account.
Yes,
I've tweeted
I'm there.
Go to my account, and I didn't even see it. First of all, I don't even check back on once I'm done for the day. Like I don't even look at Twitter anymore. There's no point. And I'm so throttled there. Like there's no point in talking about my book.
There's a lot of Nazis there, so you don't want to.
Although my tweet about Letitia James blew up pretty well because everybody, because people came for it, and because fragility and whatever. So anyway, I mean, I tweeted the article, and there's the same no response to it because my account is so throttled. But the only response is literally from him saying you're a hack because you didn't even meet the deadline. But he couldn't read the article and he couldn't respond to the article. And then if you click, did you find the tweet?
I'm looking at. Well, let me show you the screen. Let's see.
Okay. All right. So is that okay? So see how it says small Walter? Like scroll. Okay. See that? Okay. So
here?
So there he is, Walter Smolowski. Yeah, and then. He's like, so click on his tweet, because what he did was he shares the email that I sent him.
Oh, wow.
Which is walking a line, because if you go to any congressional member of Congress, congressional website's privacy policy says that they're not going to share voice. They can't share voicemail.
Well, yeah.
I don't remember if it applies to emails or not, but if it does, then he's violating the congressional website's policy.
What?
Matt Gaetz violated his congressional website's privacy policy by playing an email I left on his voicemail on his Firebrand podcast. Nothing ever happened to him.
No way. Oh
several
my God.
Complaints to the House Ethics Committee. So if I can find, I'm good. Maybe I'll look into this a little bit more. But this is
they want you to be harassed. That's what they're doing. They want you to be targeted and feel unsafe and stop talking.
This is the response from somebody who works for a sitting member of the House of Representatives. And look at the thing. Garcia is a Salvadorian national who entered the U.S. legally. False. He's an MS-13. False. And when you use the red X, that means actually this is false. His wife filed for a protective order against him. She disputes that. False. He was ordered deported in 2019. Now, this is one that has been challenged as well as not true.
Right.
And that there's something muddier about that, and I need, there's just so much information, and it's hard to trust.
They will just this is all they have. Oh, he's a bad guy. The fact is, bad guys deserve the excuse me, I'm hitting my microphone. I got to stop with the waving hands. Bad guys deserve due process, and that's what it's there for. In fact, that says everything about who we are. We don't just judge who deserves due process or not. Everyone, because that's a free modern society, nation of laws, right?
They hate that too, especially if a judge appointed by Joe Biden decides that something the Trump administration has done is unconstitutional and he deserves to be impeached, which we can get to in a minute. But I mean, look at my email, and it doesn't really. I mean, I have in the past tried the respectful tone, and then I've tried saltier language to get attention. And it really doesn't matter if I'm kind, if I'm nice, if I'm respectful. He had a choice to respond to me professionally,
Right.
which is responding directly. And see, I even say you may not like the facts, but it's true. My
Right.
deadline is noon today. I did not indicate Eastern or Pacific, so the assumptions
Yes,
from his
true.
Look at a clock. All I can say is I asked a
Fake
straightforward, valid
news
question, and
journalists.
this was his response, calling me fake news,
And
calling me a
lying.
quote. Okay, and I've never once claimed to be a journalist. Never
Exactly.
once. Never once. If you want to call me anything, call me a quote influencer.
Yeah, we're
I
just
call my-
we're
call me a
commentators,
commentator,
political,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Writer. I'm a political writer and podcast host. That's what I am. That's what I am doing now.
Not a journalist.
I am also an author. I am an author of a book that has nothing to do with politics, but of course, nobody who comes for me and attacks my book has any interest in finding out what my book is actually about because they don't read. And I would say, people who don't read books really shouldn't attack the people who write them. And so this is where we left it sort of when I came on the air. Is like I responded to him with like, this is so tiny and it's so unprofessional. And I know it's wrong to like expect professionalism from these people, but they are literally the bully pulpit right now.
Ugh, that's
they are
him?
literally, look at this guy. This is that's also probably his Tinder profile photo or
Yes,
his Grindr.
and
he's on the DL.
Right.
But they're always like, I mean, and living in Portland when I still tried to date, which is a whole other show. Every other guy in Portland is standing in a river holding a fish, and I'm the very definition of an indoor girl. So no, thank you. But it's this false MAGA bravado, and it's again attacking the messenger rather than addressing the issue. And that is why it's extra infuriating in that we have the alleged attorney general. What do I want to know? I want to know when the fuck this is ending. But we also have the alleged, attorney general saying, well, he's just not coming back.
Yeah, I just want to see what the AI has to say about all of the things.
And again, and you fact check this and you find out that everything about this is illegal. And then the second half of this discussion includes, and we can go into what you wrote about ICE, but it also that threat that we heard on the live mic in the Oval Office when he was talking to the El Salvadorian president. His name looks like it's like Bukalele. It looks like it's like Bukele. I want to call him Bukaki because he basically he's basically walking around with Putin spooge all over his face, and so is Trump.
Well, let's see.
Anyway,
it says that he did enter illegally. Now, you always have to double and triple check the AI.
Okay.
But this says in 2019, he and other Salvadorian national entered United States and without legal authorization. He admitted to being present illegally. But this is in 2019, so they clearly have rectified this, after being detained, and I'm sure that's at this moment he wasn't in the United States illegally. So, let's see. His wife filed a protective order against him. True, court records say that they sought and received temporary protective order. But then she said later on that this is not an abusive relationship. We were having issues at the time, and every couple has issues. Blah blah blah. It's really none of our business. Trump raped people, and if you really want to play that game of
Trump raped children,
right.
He
was ordered deported.
Who's worse? And
exactly. Let's play who's worse. Exactly. And look, but
he was ordered
deported. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
And then what happened?
In 2019,
timeline
exactly. He was ordered deported in 2019. False. Since if he was here illegally and then was apprehended in 2019, and I guess whatever the situation was, he cleared it up because it says he was not ordered deported in 2019. In fact, immigration judge in 2019 granted him legal protection against deportation due to the risk of persecution by gangs in El Salvador. Despite this, he was mistakenly deported in 2025 due to what the government describes as an administrative error, and that's where we are right now.
And that's why it's so aggravating, because if you admit that you made an administrative error, then you have every opportunity to rectify that and bring him home. You made a mistake there that you can rectify, you can fix it. You could look like, you could also look like a hero. That's why it's so stupid.
They're so
Same thing with COVID.
Right.
It's the same thing. You have an opportunity to save lives and make yourself look like a hero, and you don't take it. Like,
well,
it takes a lot.
Depends. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you though? Here's your opportunity.
They think
to look
that's
like a
weak.
Good guy.
Right. Being a hero, being
a
good is weak and woke to them. Following the rule of law, they think this is they're looking strong by thumbing their nose at the Constitution.
No, and they're too stupid to see that if they rectified this and issued the briefest, you don't have to do a lot. The briefest of apologies. Let the man live.
That's what I'm worried about. That he's not alive. That's why.
Well, that's why they wouldn't let Van Hollen in when he went. We still haven't gotten real proof of life. But let's just say for remaining positive and hopeful that he is, and he's released with the apologies from the Trump administration and saying that we have rectified the clerical error. Like in the most basic, unemotional language that we would expect from them, because the apologies are anathema to Donald Trump. They would still gain voters by doing that. They would still gain respect. His approval rating is at a historic low. I'm guessing releasing a wrongfully imprisoned American citizen might bump that approval rating up.
I don't know.
Maybe not. But what you do, what you have here, there's Jessica Tarlov on Fox telling the truth about what is going on. It's your choice as a Fox viewer to believe either drunk Judge Jeanine or smart Jessica Tarlov on the same show talking about the same thing. But what it has now come down to is they don't care about him as a human being. They care about using him as the political prop. The same way they used Rachel Morin's mother as a political prop yesterday in the press room. He didn't have anything to do with that story. And they didn't, the way they think, one person is responsible for everything.
Yes.
It's a very, obviously very xenophobic.
Well, they argue by anecdote, which is the weakest form of argument. Which is what we're getting here too.
And now, for those who haven't read your piece yet, I tell everybody about them grabbing the wrong teen.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So
grab the wrong teenager.
So I wrote on the Political Voices because yesterday I saw this and I saw that it wasn't really getting much notice in the fire hose of everything else that's going on. But this is related to what we're talking about, and also it's another example of what we're dealing with. These people, this is the Gestapo. They are enacting a policy of ethnic cleansing, by lawless criminal decree. Because if their names were Jones or anything else, Alito or Thomas, right? Especially if they were those names, this would not be happening. It's because they're Garcia, Gutierrez, because they are from Latin American countries. But in another, as I wrote, in another display of the fascism that we're under, ICE agents deported a 19-year-old Venezuelan asylum seeker. His family is here legally. They're all here legally seeking asylum. They fled the Venezuelan dictatorship. They went through not even coming in illegally or overstaying their welcome or whatever it might be. They came here. They filed asylum paperwork. The entire family has they're waiting their day in court. They have a court date, and ICE agents encountered this 19-year-old, and one of the guys said, "No, that's the wrong kid," and the other guy said, "Take him anyway." There are witnesses to this.
God.
Take him anyway. And right now, this kid, his name is Maruel, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Gutierrez, is in an El Salvadorian prison, the one that Kristi Noem cosplayed in front of. That's where he is right now. And his family's like, they didn't know what happened to him. Where's my kid? Where's my son? This is a 19. And now for all these filthy fascists, remember when J.D. Vance swooped in about one of the assholes in the Department of Gazillionaire extortion, how when he resigned after his racist tweets came out, He's like, I don't want to ruin a kid's life. And this you're talking about somebody who's like 27, right? And this is an actual kid. I mean, he's 19. He's just barely an adult, right?
Right.
Technically.
When they say a 19-year-old man, it's only because at 18, you can, you can be in the army.
Yes.
And vote. And vote, but you can't drink.
And this is what I'm saying, though.
Weird and arbitrary thing, but
exactly.
Because
it's just, what are they doing to this person? They are traumatizing him for life now.
Right.
And this is what the American and why, there's so many things. I wrote another article about the fascist brain drain that we're experiencing. And today I'm going to put another article up about J.D. Vance attacking China as peasants.
Oh, boy.
Right? This is what you do, right? Peasants, when you're negotiating deals, right? You come out and you insult people. When we're the peasants. We're the peasants.
The Chinese are peasants. The Chinese who gave Ivanka Trump how many patents?
Exactly.
Who make all of Donald Trump's products. That there's a Tesla factory in Shanghai, but they're all peasants. That's super great. Right. Vladimir Putin.
That's the only one who comes off looking better is Putin. Putin's ecstatic about what's going on because what they're doing is they are people don't want to come here. Tourism is down in America. No, who the hell wants to come here? We're not going to get immigrants.
No, and other countries are issuing travel warnings.
That's
to not come to the United States if you're a particular.
Why would you?
If your skin isn't glowing white, perhaps this isn't the time to explore.
It's amazing.
The lower 48. I don't know. It's just and then this also, as we were saying before, or trying to get back to this. What is this comment that Trump made on Monday about homegrown? The homegrowns are next. I want you to build prisons.
That's
for the
me and you.
That's me and you, right? And so where do you start with that one? What do you if you are saying that I'm gonna get deported for exercising my constitutionally given First Amendment rights? Where am I getting deported to? Because I was born in Brooklyn, New York. So where am I going?
Right.
What do you?
Get me Ireland. Get me out of here. That's what I said.
Right.
Give me a ticket to Ireland.
I mean, sure. If you want to deport me to Dublin, Ireland, because the name matches,
they would. They would do that. They would do that.
You know what? I mean, okay, because it would.
Why not?
Be a better life. Be a better lifestyle. Absolutely. A little corner pub, maybe limited Wi-Fi. Me and the cats by a stone fireplace. Like that doesn't sound that bad to me at all.
No, it doesn't.
It's just. What did you mean when you said homegrown? How come no one has asked about that? What does that mean?
Everybody knows.
What do you mean by that?
They mean us. They mean American citizens who displease the baboon. So
who blocked me on Twitter in August of 2015. So really, who's in the wrong here? You are.
Well, they just took this other.
Violating my First Amendment
of course.
Right, so.
Well, they took this other kid.
As is Howard Letnick.
Right. They took this. I saw there was something. I don't know the guy's name. I was looking it up, but he was on CBS last night or 2 nights ago, saying that he received his interview. He's a green card holder, and the story was about how they're deporting green card holders for exercising their First Amendment rights. We all have constitutional protections in this country, whether you're a visitor or not. I know that they hate that, but if you're a green card holder, your next step is American citizenship. You are a permanent resident of the United States, but that doesn't seem to matter anymore. And this student was invited to his interview, his final green card interview, and he thought, this is great. And then the next thought was, maybe it's a trap. And guess what? It was a trap.
It was.
Yes. When he showed up, ICE arrested him because he is writing articles about he doesn't agree with Trump. I've been doing that
forever. I've been doing that forever. I did it yesterday. I'm going to do it today. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I do it in all my tweets. Maybe it's good that I'm being suppressed, but it's not a secret that I'm anti-Trump, and I was born in the United States of America, and it is my constitutionally given right to be critical of my government when I see that something is wrong. And I am just as critical of Democrats when they do bad stuff, or they don't step up, or they disappoint me, as I am about Republicans. We talked about this on Tuesday. It is an elected official's job to put country above party every single time, every single vote, every single day. And when we see them not doing it, we have to call them out. Like David Hogg is in a lot of hot water today. I don't know if you saw that, but as he's a co-vice chair of the Democratic National Committee now.
Okay.
And he said that they want a primary, Democrats who have been there for a long time, and he wants to, instill term limits. And he said there are things that he said that he maybe didn't say them the right way, because the New York Times was like, he's plotting against the Democrat. No, he's not.
Okay.
What he's talking about is, like shaking the snow globe that is Congress and making sure that the right people are still active, basically, and making sure that there are people who are there who can move the agenda forward,
like Nancy Pelosi, good, right, whatever, so, go away.
Bringing in young blood is a great idea. You just have to make sure that they're coming in with something that resembles experience. And I would still like to see people climbing the ladder rather than leaping, right? And so I have no problem with term limits. I think they make absolute sense. I think it also makes sense to, and I mean it.
I don't. I mean, I have. Here's the thing. Money. The whole problem is money in politics. I don't have any problem with people who want to serve if they keep getting elected fairly and squarely on the field of ideas, because you need people who know what they're doing, who know how to navigate the ins and outs of governance or whatever, government, right? But I don't think term limits are the thing. I just think that will feed the money in politics more. It'll feed the lobbyists more than the people who, like a Bernie or an AOC, who aren't taking corporate money. Because the bottom line is, if we took money out of politics, all of these scumbags would flee. They would. Why would they be in politics? Exactly. That is real. Exactly. The real remedy is public financing of campaigns and other things. But money in politics is really the root of all of the corruption. Absolutely, no doubt.
Fair. And then, but I mean, if a term limit thing isn't a solution, then maybe there is a cap on how old you can be.
Maybe
there should be maybe a congressional retirement age of 70. Or 70 is still
exactly.
70 is still, you're vibrant, you're active, you can still support your party from outside of Congress. You can be a supporter. You can go out and make speeches. You can work within the DNC. You can run for.
Yeah, you could be a mentor to the younger.
You can run. You can run for a different office. Just step outside and let some new blood come in, because that is representative of the voting body of America. And so, I think there are compromises, but the number one thing to do now is getting all MAGA Republicans out of Congress, and that's a process.
Yes. Oh God! Well, that's gerrymandering. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, and it's the Electoral College, and it shouldn't be up to 7 states how the presidency is decided every 4 years.
I know. The tyranny of the minority.
The president.
Yes.
And that's a whole other thing. But I mean, what we're seeing now, they're deliberately destroying so many American norms all at the same time that it's like we're running around trying to pick up all of the pieces and put them back together, like Frankenstein's monster almost. It's like if we can cobble together a functioning government after they've destroyed this, it'll be almost miraculous.
It's going to be tough.
Recovery,
yeah.
Right? And so I'm trying to,
we have our work cut out for us. Yeah. What do you got there?
All of these notes that I wrote.
You got pages of notes. Yes.
I wrote them so fast and I can't even read them.
You can't read your writing? I have that problem too. With my own writing. Happens.
Right. Okay. So right now, I got it. Okay. So right now, one of the things that we're seeing is, Trump has fully defied a Supreme Court ruling.
Yes, he has.
Regardless of the immunity they may have handed him, they still should be a governing body that their rulings should matter. Like, we don't have to agree with them, but they are the Supreme Court, and we are allowed to push back and protest and whatever. They ruled unanimously. They don't rule unanimously on anything anymore. They don't. And when they rule unanimously against this person who helped most of them get there illegitimately, right? The majority is not there because they went there fairly and they're good people. They're owned by Harlan Crow or Leonard Leo. Anyway,
Yep.
but yet, even thusly so, even Clarence Thomas.
Right. Imagine that. That's pretty shocking.
Even Clarence.
Yeah.
Even Clarence defied his wife and voted against Trump. And even then, Trump was like, nope, can't make me. So that is a point of no return as far as our American democracy is concerned. Because if Donald Trump is openly defying the Supreme Court, as are his supporters, that is a completely different situation than anything we've ever experienced. And so there needs to be something that resembles accountability, which is why Joe Biden worked very hard to appoint a record number of federal judges across the country, because the only way that there's accountability, there's two roads of accountability. It's going through the courts or getting enough Republicans to bring about a third impeachment. And I want to believe that there are enough who would do that at this point. And the pressure for that will have to come from us. You know, as we take to the streets again on Saturday, calling for the impeachment of Trump is probably one of the things that we should be doing the loudest right now.
Yes.
We need a very small number of Republicans to do this.
Well, they had the opportunity. Yeah.
They had the opportunity. And
I don't know.
Also, it's a moment where Republicans should be asked on camera, are you loyal to Trump or are you loyal to America? It can't be both. That's the bottom line. That's where we are as a nation. That is what should be asked of all Republicans and all people who voted for Trump. Are you loyal to America?
Right.
Or are you loyal to Trump? Because they are not the same. And you cannot claim both. Because you cannot love this country and vote against all of its best interests. And that's what you'd think, right? Well,
it's very sad.
It's the same thing as someone who's in an abusive relationship. Yes. You can't claim to love me and then smack me around.
Right. Well, that's not you know what later on. That's why you guys should subscribe to the Substack, because I'm writing an article. It makes me want to weep because J.D. Vance calling the Chinese people peasants when really, I mean, we're the peasants. They're riding around on bullet trains, and we're still fighting over whether 5G caused COVID or not. And there are so many ways. And as I'm researching this article, and it's really pissing me off because they have left us in the dust already. And they're producing solar panels. They are creating. They have supercomputers and all this other. They're in the forefront of AI, while the Republicans are unplugging the EV charging stations on federal property, the ones that are already built. They're unplugging them to be assholes, to be monsters. It's fucked up.
I mean, everything they do is wrong.
They're just fucked up.
Every single day they prove that they're the bad guys.
Isn't that
and
awful?
We're the good guys.
They are.
I mean, it could not be more glaringly obvious if you put Chris Van Hollen side by side with Kristi Noem or Riley Moore, in that what they're doing, this is a humanitarian effort from the Democrats trying to bring back an American citizen. And again, because his name is Garcia, there are people who just aren't even paying attention. Because they just assume, he's
right.
You know, what does it take to get the American people to be fully outraged about this? It'll take one of us being disappeared.
Right. It has to happen to them. They have to be like, me
like them. Yeah, someone who would look like them, or is from their community, or someone that they trusted. Someone that I don't know, someone who's representative of something that they thought that they also believed in. I have no idea. I don't know what it would take. If any one of us got disappeared, the MAGA people would be like, well, she deserved it because she did this. She was violent, and she wore a T-shirt with Wonder Woman punching Donald Trump and she did a middle finger, so she deserved to be disappeared.
Yeah,
Mark Wayne Mullen thinks it would be fine if I don't know, let's say Riley Moore, because I wrote something about Riley Moore that he didn't like, that Riley Moore would be entitled to bring bodily harm upon me. because he didn't agree with my opinion. I felt I should be silenced. I'm choosing my words carefully here. But the point being is that Democrats are always looking for the peaceful solution. Democrats always want a bipartisan effort because Democrats want to believe that Republicans care about the voting people of America or just American citizens, but they don't, which is why Republicans are always the problem. Maybe that should be my protest sign on Saturday. I'm trying to figure out a good protest sign.
That's a good one. Republicans
are always the problem.
They are.
Show me when they haven't been, and then you can make a two-sided sign. So I was thinking, deport Musk or impeach, because he doesn't belong here, and deport Trump with him. They can go deport them to Russia. Deport MAGA Republicans to Russia. I don't know, something catchy. I gotta bring it.
We'll deport
Portland's
Trump first.
Game is unparalleled. Deport Trump first.
Well, he's a convicted felon. He's the one with the 34 felony counts and the rape, conviction.
Correct. And you know what? Even if Donald Trump gets a real ID, he still wouldn't be allowed to travel to 38 countries overseas because he's a convicted felon. A convicted felon. Remember when it was a bad thing to be a convicted felon and not run for office? You wouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't be allowed to run for public office.
That's why you always have to. Yeah, they can't vote, right? They try to strip people who pay their debt to society of their right to vote. Well, Trump he's never paid his debt to society. He's a freaking parasite and always has been, always will be. So.
And Elon Musk is a welfare queen.
Oh, yes, he is.
He should lose his government contracts like that.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you saw the Wall Street Journal article about him trying to create a bunch of kids all over.
He aggressively goes after these women, telling them he wants to impregnate them. It's so gross.
He invites them, to be his baby mamas.
Yeah, please be my walking incubator, and then be gone with you and my money, and let me control these children, and I'll carry them around and teach them to wipe their boogers on the Resolute desk. He's so disgusting. And we talked about his botched junk. He tried to get like a penile enlargement or something.
Yes, that goes to show you who he is. I mean, they all hate themselves. Kristi Noem hates her face.
Oh my God! Why do we have to pay for these micro-penised men?
That's what it is. He
doesn't.
He's a fraud in every way. Look at his hair. His hair is transplanted.
His
everything.
Hair, his face, his gender-affirming surgery, as some like to call it. It's just everything.
That is what it is.
Same thing with Trump wearing the clown makeup and J.D. Vance wearing his eyeliner.
Well, he's what is Trump? 6'3", 225 pounds, right?
Come on, you
of
giant
pure
of shit.
lard.
Lipstick on a bunch of pigs is what we're dealing with, and it's so gross. Ashley St. Clair said that she and Elon made their baby the natural way.
They did. You shouldn't.
That's what she claims.
You should.
She claims that. So she let that ketamine cooked alien freak with botched junk touch her.
Who can believe her though? I mean, she
in
might
her lady
be...
places. I don't fucking know. You know what? All of it grosses me. It just grosses me out because I believe he made most of his children in a lab.
Yeah,
and that track.
Well, that says it all.
Right, and none of them have a name that will ever be on a souvenir nameplate at Disneyland.
Well, like I said, this is one of them. AEXAIXXI. I mean, how dare you?
Okay.
That should be child abuse right there.
I mean, right?
AEXE.
They're gonna get teased. They're gonna get teased in school.
Well,
that's
just it just goes to show you these are not they're extensions of him. They're not autonomous beings.
Serious.
That's what it is. And they're just things to him.
Like I want to. And so, how do you like? I don't know.
How do you put
little
XAE?
No, you know what? You know what? Your name is Jade. Your name is Jaden, like every other kid born now. Your name is Jaden. unless you're in Portland, and then your name is either.
Look at me. This is my favorite little graphic.
There are some. I see some. I hear some baby names in Portland are kind of out there.
Not like that, though. At least you can pronounce them.
No, in Portland it's more like, hey Juniper, like every other like Juniper's
Juniper.
Oh yeah.
Oh really? There's a lot.
It's cute, right? it's very like almost Ramona the Pest adjacent, because Beverly Cleary is from Portland, and so there are a lot of girls named Ramona, a lot of little girls named Ramona from Wild Louie. But yeah, look at
I'm just looking at him because that's he's trying to make an X. This is what he does when he jumps like that.
No,
I'm an X.
He looks
everybody.
Like he should be tarred and feathered.
Oh,
hey,
I can't handle him.
Thank you, Rose Blue, for the super chat.
Oh,
I don't know
thank
how
you,
we
Rose.
receive your $2, but we'll hope for it. Hey, apparently there was an earthquake. Somebody in the chat said, "Hey, Tara Dublin, did you feel the earthquake?" And the answer
it was
would
a
be
couple
no.
of days ago, I think.
Was it? No. They're also doing construction out front of my apartment, so I don't feel anything except the cement trucks. But in the last couple of minutes, I wanted to look at the chat and see if we have any questions.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
The kids in the chat, because I always, when I post about this, when I tweet about it, I always tell people I want to have a conversation, right? Which is something. And we're going to explore maybe expanding the show to go to 90 minutes in the near future. But for now,
especially when we have a guest, maybe we should plan that for a guest.
I would like to get some congressional Democrats on here. And yes, Terry Taylor, we should be demanding impeachment every day. So I think that'll just probably be my sign on
you gotta put it in the heads, Yeah, you just have. It's like I know. You got to speak it into existence.
All about it. Yeah. And would be Vicky says Hitler had penile issues too. That's so great. I'm so glad. Yes, it's the Jews' fault that your dick doesn't work. That's great. That's just harass me. Make me your scapegoat.
I hate
because
these
you
people.
Decided.
They're the worst.
I'm not the problem. And Devlin and I spent a little time the other day where I apologize. Like, if anybody enters into a one-on-one discussion with me, they end up acting as my amateur therapist for a moment. But my whole thing was,
you're fine.
Why do
I am an amateur therapist. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, we kind of both are when we do this, but it was more about what it is about me specifically that triggers the MAGA people and makes them go after me specifically. Like, they hate the truth in general. Yes. They hate it. They hate women in general. Yes. They hate Jews in general. Yes. Someone like a Jasmine Crockett. Yes. They hate it when we speak out. There's something about me. They love to go after me. And they love to bully me. Matt Gaetz, when Matt Gaetz mentions me on not one but 2 episodes of his Firebrand podcast.
That's great. I'm jealous, man. That's awesome.
Well,
You're
don't
doing it right.
Because I got raped. No, because I got raped and death threats, and somebody sent a car to my apartment, and I had to move.
A car?
This is. Oh yeah. No, this is when I still lived in Vancouver, Washington.
Oh my God, I'm sorry to hear that. Jeez,
I've
been doxxed, as you know. So
right. I mean, and any woman. A lot of us who put ourselves out here the way we do, we've gotten popped here and there. We've gotten doxxed. We've gotten spotted. We've gotten harassed. And again, like if all you're doing is going online and harassing women, that's the weakest, weakest, easiest, most self-protective keyboard warrior crap. I mean,
you gotta wonder.
I'm a pit. The truth. Fuck yeah.
But I mean, doesn't that say that you're not doing it correctly? That you're not on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy? That you're the bad guys when you got is hate and targeting people and harassing people? So,
I mean, at the root of bullying is jealousy. I don't think that I possess anything that a MAGA mean girl would be jealous of. They all claim that I look like, they call me the hag, and they call me menopausal.
Don't worry about it, but it's. I told you how to respond. But how you respond with a thank you. Whenever they attack me, I say thank you because that means I'm doing it correctly. So that's what I'm saying. You got to do that because they don't know how to respond to that. It just shuts it down. It's like, what are you going to do then? I'm telling you, don't go back at them because that gets them what they want. Yeah.
So sometimes that's fun.
Sometimes no, unless you want to.
When a cat's got a mouse and it's like half dead and it's just kind of batting it around and playing with it before it ends. That's kind of how I feel when I get trolled. Because I know I already have the upper hand because I'm smart.
That's right.
And they're not.
And you have facts and reality and history.
And I have facts and reality and the truth. And they hate all of those things. And we've talked about their tactics, about how they fight back. And what they do is just try to insult me. And that's the lowest way to go. Like, it's super easy. Like the guy, the Walter guy, the small Walter. First of all, just calling him that doesn't matter how big of a dude he is. He's tiny. All MAGA dudes are tiny. And so but
Very
I mean,
true.
when they go low, we go high. That just means
No.
that you can be smarter in the way that you insult them back. And so as we roll into another weekend, I would encourage everybody, if you're not comfortable physically marching on Saturday, you have to get out there in a different way. So
Yes.
you're sharing you're sharing this podcast, you're sharing our Substacks, you're sharing Political Voices Network, you're tuning in when John and Frangela and Stephanie and Hal are on, as well as us, or you're sharing information, or you're calling members of Congress, or you're emailing them. But I expect everybody who joins us to be active in their own way. Every act of resistance will matter. So whether or not you're beefing with a really idiotic comms director on Twitter, or you're out in the streets, or you're participating in a discussion in our chat room, being involved and staying engaged is what we need to be doing at all times, demanding better of Democratic leadership to hold Republicans accountable. And that's
right.
That's the path.
Thank you again, Rose, for another super chat under the wire.
Woo!
Mobs for liberty, assholes with casseroles. I like that, but I call them mobs. Mobs for liberty.
Liberty. They all the moms
Liberty,
for liberty have me blocked on Twitter. The official Moms for Liberty has me blocked, and then the
wow, you're doing it right. You're doing it correctly, not right. Excuse me, correctly.
There will be a time where maybe we'll do a whole segment about my MAGA blocks at some point.
Okay, I would like that.
Go deep.
We could do that as a political network, voices network. Why can't I talk? For the subscribers. That's what I'm trying to say. A special for the subscribers. That we have to do that. We're going to have to do that.
One of the things that we're talking about doing, as well as this, is doing live paid subscriber chats once the show's over.
Yeah, like after the show.
Yeah, hop on over to the Substack and do a quick a Q&A.
We can even do like a Zoom thing where we can everybody could see each other. We'll have to figure that out. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much I want to be confronted with that, but I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
They can already see you. I don't know if you know that. They already know what you look like.
No, I don't. I know I don't know. It's still a weird.
You don't want to see our friends in their faces?
I do. I do love seeing our friends, and I love it when everyone comes together for the common good. And so that's why I will be back out in the streets on Saturday. Everybody, please keep in mind, a week from Saturday is my birthday. And so I ask for world peace, as always, but also please buy my book, The Sound of Settling. Look at that. Dueling copies.
Twinning.
Twinning Tara's holding my book that has nothing to do with politics, for criminy's sake. TaraDublinRocks.com. It's been a slow sales couple of months because nobody, it's a rough time to be promoting a book. What can I say? But I will not give up. It's the best thing I've ever written in my whole life. And I love it more than anything, except maybe the follow-up that I've written. I've been told it's even better. Anyway, what I'm saying is, as we roll into the weekend, support each other. Take care of yourselves, because we can't keep fighting if we're not a strong, healthy fighting force. So be good to each other, be good to yourselves, and we will see you on Tuesday, same Tara time, same Tara channel. Check in with Devlin tomorrow night on her show.
Yes, Tara Buster. And thank you, Jim, for being a moderator in this chat room.
Thank you, Jim.
Yes, and on the Tara Buster chat room. So, thank you all, guys.
Love you guys. We'll see you soon.
And
see you on Tuesday.
my article will be up later about J.D. Vance insult to China. He really insults ourselves. Beautiful. But we all right, guys. See ya. See ya.